Welcome back, beautiful soul, to the April Akashic forecast video. I am so excited to dive into this upcoming month with you and what an enormous month we have ahead for us. So, if you're brand new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Anna Hendricks. I'm a spiritual guide, Akashic Records soul channel and teacher and host of the Soul Driven podcast. I'm still newer to showing up on YouTube regularly, so bear with me, have patience with me. I often use podcasting vocabulary just because I'm so used to it. I've had my podcast for over 6 years. Yay. Celebrated that anniversary at the beginning of March, but this year I'm going big on YouTube and I'm still getting used to it. Still a newbie, so bear with me. Give me grace because this is very different for me. Okay. But I'm excited. I'm so excited to dive into April with you because, again, this month is massive, massive, massive. I talked about this in the March Akashic forecast video. And if you're kind of like, I don't know, if you're still reeling from March, then what I would love to invite you to do is go check out that Akashic forecast message first. Sit with it, allow it to just soak in, see where, some of the things that they spoke about came into being in your life through March. It was such an internal, powerful, spiritual month. I mean, honestly, like the invitations and the lessons that I went through in just 1 month's time are still kind of blowing my mind. March was a month of preparation for us for this month specifically, but certainly moving into the rest of 2026. I mean, we're going through a massive year, as you well know, right? But the point just being is that March was such a pivotal month. And so definitely in this month, I would encourage you to go back because if you're making it through March and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got through that. If you go back and listen to the Akashic message, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I did this and I did this and I learned this. And you're going to feel very empowered, especially if you kind of feel beat up on the end of March. It was a huge month, and it was a month meant to reconnect us to ourselves, right? Self reconnection was the theme for March. And again, it was in preparation of what we're stepping into this month with April. So, again, thank you so much for being here. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to share a little bit with you on the forefront about some of what we've been navigating, in addition to just kind of sharing some guidelines with you in regards to taking in and digesting this beautiful message. And then I'll be breaking it down for you on the other side. So last month, I had intended to record myself channeling live. It didn't happen this month either. I'm still getting used to recording myself. It's just, I've been doing Akashic forecast messages since 2020, the fall of 2020, and none of it has been on video. So I am really having to just like turn things around. But I have been sitting with this incredible message for the past 2 weeks, I guess, week and a half. And it's huge. It is so huge. So here in just a minute, I will be reading it to you and breaking it down for you. And I can't wait to hear how it resonates with you because it is such a big message. Also, I want to invite you to come join my beautiful email community where I'll be sharing transcripts from my Akashic messages, not only through the forecasts, but also through other messages that I'm going to be channeling, have been channeling. I'm going to be doing a massive channeling for the upcoming Soul Politics episode. We are going to be focusing on the US economy. We're going to be looking at a number of things that are going to be really important to you. So if you would like to receive those channeled messages as well, make sure to join my beautiful email community. And so you can just kind of take those in. I personally love to read things. We're all a little bit different, but I'll be sharing it with you here regardless. So when it comes to April, as I mentioned a couple of times already. And now I'm like putting the dots together and kind of laughing, because even in this Akashic forecast message, you will hear the Akasha say several times, 3 times, I believe, April is a hard month. It's a difficult month. Okay. Our theme, calling strength forward, is huge, because that is what it's going to call from us. And hopefully you spent March reconnecting to yourself. So you're ready for that next step. You're ready to put on, your battle gear. You're ready to step up. And if you're not, honor where you're at, because we're all in so many places and there's no right or wrong here. Okay. As humans, we're the ones who place judgments on, oh, well, I'm doing a good job or I'm not doing a good job. And what I want to most encourage you at this time is just to be kind to yourself, because March was extremely confronting in a number of different ways. I know I am still dealing with all of the the confronting things that I learned about the ways in which I am very unkind to myself. Okay. I'm still navigating that. And, can we ever hear this message enough to be kind to ourselves? I don't think so. So please don't feel, if March, if you weren't able to reconnect with yourself, that's okay. Focus there. All right. Because that will fully assist you in navigating April. And you'll hear more about that when I break down the message on the other end. Okay. So if you're brand new to my work, thank you so much again for being here. When I open up the Akashic Records, I do so for my audience. So it doesn't matter where you're tuning into this, and it doesn't matter when you're tuning into this. If you feel called to this, then there's something here for you. And if you would like to learn more about my work with the Akashic Records and or the Akashic Records, I've actually done a couple of videos on YouTube about this, and I'll be sharing more. But you can also check out episodes 168 to 172 on the Soul Driven podcast, wherever you tune in, listen. They're like little 15-minute increment episodes that kind of just do a deep dive on my relationship with the Akasha. And I'm going to be talking about the Akasha and teaching so much more about it on YouTube this year. So if you're into that, subscribe, come along for the ride, leave answer or questions below that you would like answered. I'm so here for it and very excited for what's to come this year. What I really love to recommend folks do with these Akashic forecast messages is to revisit them like every week throughout the month. It helps to rebalance, recenter you, reground you, and what is taking place energetically. And I got to tell you, March was absolutely one of those months where I caught myself going back again and again and again to the forecast message, because I kind of felt at different intervals like, wait, what is happening here? Like the Neptune transit that has been taking place through March, especially towards the end, right? Like we were coming out of eclipse season. We were in that Mercury retrograde. Everything was so fuzzy and hazy and really, really difficult to kind of wrap yourself around. In fact, the good news about April is you're going to be getting a lot of clarity around some of those things that you were navigating in March, right? But point just being, come back to this message whenever you feel yourself getting lost throughout the month. Okay. So what we're going to do is here in just a minute is I'm going to open up the Akashic Records and then I'm going to read this very powerful message with you. And again, I just encourage you to come back to it again and again and again, because it will help you to really drill into what is most relevant for you. Okay. I keep feeling like I'm forgetting things that I need to say. Again, I'm still getting used to these videos. Okay. So I just invite you, wherever you are at, if you're driving or being very active or whatever the case may be, please do not close your eyes. But if you feel called to do so, then I welcome you to do so with me as I open up the Akashic Records. Also, know that I'm going to be sharing a lot more videos of my channeling live for you and doing some live events as well, where you'll have the opportunity to come and ask questions and, yeah, just us be in space together. All right. Okay. Holy Spirit of God, please help me to share the message that the master teachers, loved ones, how for today's audience to keep me in your light so I may help guide and teach your full potential, being guided and protected by Guru energy and the Holy Spirit of God, keeping all forms of self-centeredness aside. I enter today's audience's records by the grace of God and the Holy Spirit. I enter today's audience's records by the grace of God and the Holy Spirit. The records are now open. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of the reasons that I really love to open up the Akashic Records on these episodes is first and foremost so that hopefully you get to sense into the energy of the Akashic Records. But also because as soon as I do, like the guides start talking to me about whatever it is that we're going to be going through with this message. So I just wanted to be here and be in a space with you. Okay. So the April Akashic forecast message. Raining down, raining down. Why, yes, so much raining down. Clouds and thunder, lightning strikes. For there are wars, and then there are wars. It's not as if this earth hasn't seen war before, but none like it is currently experiencing. But there are so many things that are happening behind the scenes, so many things that you haven't been privy to. Workings, handshakes, nodding heads, agreeing hearts, to things that would be even difficult for you to say. For as you look out at the world around you, there is this part of you that simply can't believe what it is that you are taking in. You want to push, you want to scream, you want to unplug, and we completely understand where you are coming from. For it is a total assault on the human spirit, that human part of you that loves and gives and cares and knows that ultimately you are a tribe of one, yet continues to see yourselves ripped apart, pitted against one another, where fingers can point and being different is dangerous. These are not times for the weary, not times for those who simply wish to run away, for you are being called at attention in one way or another. And while you may be feeling these emotions at different times, what is ultimately here for you to do in this time is to sit up, take notice, begin taking in that which you see. For even while some of you are called to the forefront to take action, to push back, to use your voices, so many of you are simply waking up right now. In fact, all of you are. Even those who are the most conscious among you are looking around, wondering how it is we got here so fast. It's almost as if someone pulled down the shade and let it go. And all of a sudden, you could see things so clearly. And you looked around and saw rape and pillage, saw destruction, hatred, stealing, greed, the devastation of Mother Earth, and so much more. It's almost been too much for your heart to take. And that is why March was such a decisive month for you, to return to who you are on the inside. For as you move forward, you must understand the volume will increase, the violence will grow, bombs will be dropped, cities will go up in flames, people will die, people will be mistreated, mishandled in horrific ways. This is going to continue because it must. Because there are so many among you who simply still wish to sit at home, believing that everything will be okay the next day, the next day. Believing that your input, your action, your thoughts, your intention, your prayers won't do anything to change anything. Because ultimately, mankind is being woken up right now in a way that it never has. It's seeing itself so clearly. And what is this about? why it is about that clarity. For only through clarity can change come. This month is going to pull at your heartstrings even more. It's going to push you down into the mud. It's going to make you feel as if you are coming undone from all your seams, joints, in between places. For of course, this is what is happening, if only in the metaphorical sense. Because in this time, there is a reckoning taking place, total destruction of all that has been in leadway to what can be. Dear friends, this is going to be a very difficult month, as things are going to continuously undo in the world around you. Therefore, you must remember, all you can control is that which is inside of you. Lay that solid foundation that we have spoken about so much through this channel. Go back to basics. Stock up on things that feel right for you. Consume less. Stay more disconnected from your screens. Get outside more. Be around those you love. Live your life. For if you allow all that which is happening around you to stop you, then the violence has won. Then the hate is getting through. And the cynicism will rise until it will meet itself in the middle. Rock to rock, force to force, and nothing will be changed. You must step into a softer place within you. You must be able to find compassion for those who are making devastating decisions for the planet at this time, understanding that their goal is required to help shift and change things into a new direction. While you look at them, look at their actions, see what they do, and feel hate in your heart. Know that there is a place for that, but you must not allow it to stay. You must recognize it for what it is, their energy seeping into yours, before cutting it off and releasing it and choosing something different. We know that we're asking the most of you, yet we will continue asking as we move forward because this is the only way through. And all of your hate and all of your anger and all of the ways in which you want people to be dead isn't going to change anything. It's simply going to end up placing you in the same group with the people that you feel so much hate towards. Try to see things from a higher perspective. Try to gird yourself, strengthen your heart, build up your own abilities to see things from a different perspective so that you can make it through these times without allowing these times to break you down. They must not. For that, of course, is the goal of so many behind the scenes, whose names you will never know. They want to overwhelm you in such a way that makes you lose your voice, that makes you say, forget it, I'm out of here, I'm not participating, I'm going to ignore it. And then, of course, you will find yourself in the midst of devastation, as so many generations have done before, when they too have chosen to look in the other direction. Again, we know this is much easier said than done, for you are a human and you feel all things. And we want you to honor those things, but we also want to encourage you to rise above them. For that is your true essence, your true nature. The true reason you are on the planet at this time and listening to this message. For remember, so few will hear it, so few will take it in. Therefore, just by listening, you have a responsibility to try and live life in a different way, to smile when it's difficult, to say a prayer for those who wish to harm you, to deeply invest in all that you are within. Understand that this is what is so important in this time. April is going to be a hard month, as this is a difficult year. But you are here for a reason. You have strength within you. You have strength within that you haven't even met yet. And this month is for calling it forth. I now close the Akashic Records. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The records are now closed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right. So just coming on back now. First and foremost, I would just love to know how this message resonated with you. You know, what came up? Did you have any images? Did you have any knowings? Did you have any personal insights? Did anything like really stick in your heart? I can tell you, like, when I opened up the Akashic Records to channel this message through the first time, even before the words started coming through, I was seeing clouds of smoke, bombs. It was pretty intense. We have a huge, huge month ahead for us. Uranus is transiting into Gemini. And I remember back in the fall of 2022, listening to the astrology podcast with Chris Brennan and a guest whose name I cannot remember at this moment. But the whole episode was about Uranus moving into Gemini. And it was like a 3-hour episode. You know, they do mega episodes over there. And it was a deep dive into all of the recorded times in history when Uranus moved into Gemini and the changes that take place when this happens. And they are huge. And they are transformative. And there is no going back to the world prior. No matter what, it changes so much. And that is taking place in April. And it's a huge, huge transit that we're probably going to remember for, honestly, our lifetime. It's that huge. And it's going to make that much impact. I will be doing a deep dive on this particular transit in the next Soul Politics episode, simply because it's going to be affecting so much to do with politics, war, technology, just major, major topics that we're all hearing about in the news right now. And some of these things are already beginning to take place because, of course, we've been feeling this transit even before it fully moves into place. But I got to tell you, as we're leading up to it, things are going to be tenuous, to say the least, when it comes to the many wars that are taking place on planet Earth right now. And I believe extremely, like really connected to our war with Iran and what is taking place at this time. So let's break down this message, because again, there is so much here. And once again, just a reminder, our monthly theme is calling strength forward. And the reason, of course, that I really felt called to use this as our theme is, of course, because it's so important for us to remember that everything that is taking place right now, what we're going to be moving through in April, truly is calling our strength to the forefront. And I don't care where you're at on your spiritual journey. I don't care where you're at in life. I don't care. I want you to know that where you are is exactly where you're meant to be, and that you are equipped and you are ready. But April's going to summon it forward, and it's going to be a bit different for all of us, right? I can't speak into everybody's personal experience, but I just want you to mentally prepare. You know, the thing that I have always so appreciated about forecast messages, even years before I started channeling them myself, was simply so that if we were getting ready to step through a difficult transit or whatever the case may be, it was like, okay, I could get mentally prepared for this. and just remind myself, like, okay, this isn't personal. I didn't do anything wrong. These things that are taking place right now are taking place for my benefit. And that can be really, really difficult to take in these times, but it doesn't detract from the truth that everything happens for our benefit. It truly does. So let's dive in. Again, this was a very powerful message for me to channel through. And quite frankly, even in the midst of it, I was just feeling so much. It was just war, war, war was all I felt. It really wasn't until I sat down with the message and was able to go back through kind of line for line and like pull it apart and really kind of understand more of what they were saying, because all I could feel were all of these sort of emotions and energies, and you know what I'm saying, that kind of are connected to war, are connected to death. And I don't just mean that in a literal sense. I mean that in our old world is dying. It is dying. And this Uranus moving into Gemini is a massive part of that. Our old world will never, it's gone. It's already gone. We just haven't fully stepped into it on a physical level yet. And that's why it feels uncomfortable and it's upsetting. We don't like it. And we're hoping that it's just going to go away, but it's not going to go away. It's not. We have a lot of work to do over the next couple of years. And if you're tuning in, then I invite you to do this work with me, because I'm on the ride with you. And if you don't know, go check out the last episode where I talked, what was it, 306? Do This Before April Starts, I believe was the name of it, where I shared my massive lesson in March, which, by the way, I am still navigating. So I'm in this with you, right? We're all going through it. There's nobody too good, too spiritual, too conscious, too whatever, right? We're all going through it together. So, okay. So let's kind of break this down. We've got kind of a bunch of different like lessons to kind of look at here, invitations, you know, things that really jumped out at me. And again, if I named something you didn't hear, or if you saw something that was different, like trust it, right? Trust whatever comes forward for you, right? Okay. So again, we open up talking about what is taking place on the planet right now. And of course, you know, what is taking place behind the scenes is devastating. The people that are actively working to kill people, to hurt people, to destroy civilizations and cultures. And I mean, it is very, very ugly right now. And there's just no way around that, you know? And as the Akasha said, for as you look out at the world, there's a part of you that simply can't believe what it is that you are taking in, right? We're all just like, what is happening right now? How is this even happening? You know, it is a total assault on our human spirit, because you know what? The world is what the world is. But at our very core, we are all aspects of the divine. We are all one. We are all connected. We are all the same. And we know that on an unconscious level. And so all of the warring and devastation, like it breaks our heart in a way that's difficult to fully articulate, right? It truly is a massive assault on our human spirit. Because collectively, you know, we are waking up right now. We are waking up. And like the Akasha said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how conscious you are. We are all waking up. I was just sharing with a friend of mine who lives in Canada earlier today. We were talking about what's taking place, you know, the war in Iran, what's taking place in the United States, like just everything that's happening. And I shared with him, it was like, you know, all of these things are like awful. But the hardest thing for me is that through this period, you know, over the last couple of months, it's been like, day after day, I learned something new about our government, about how things work, about what people are getting away with, about like whatever that just I don't know what to do with this information. It's so much, and granted, I'm not someone who spent all this time learning about my government and understanding how things work. I think I'm very normal in that regard when it comes to American people. I have read a lot of history, and so I know that the US has meddled in I know that they've meddled in numerous other countries in all kinds of, corrupt ways. But to see my country so clearly, to see how beyond evil and corrupt we are, is just a totally different type of awareness that, like this isn't necessarily something that just comes up in, meditation. I mean, it might for some, but it's through all that is taking place right now. It's like every day I'm educated on something new that just like, it breaks my heart. It blows my mind. And I know I'm far from alone in this, I want to, like, as an American, I want to go out and I just want to apologize to so many countries and so many people and just, yeah, just apologize and say, I'm so sorry. You know, we were indoctrinated from a very young age, to believe that America is the best and blah, blah, blah. And because, my parents are two different colors, they come from, they're two different races. They met in Munich, Germany. Like I am more a citizen of the world than I am an American. And I have always, it's just been a very different experience for me. I never got like conditioned in that way because my world was always so much bigger than just the United States. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm still being absolutely blown away and shocked by what is happening. More of this, more of this is just going to continue happening, right? Because again, we're waking up, we're waking up. And like they said, it's almost as if someone pulled down the shade and let it go. And all of a sudden, you could see things so clearly. And you looked around and saw rape and pillage, saw destruction, hatred, stealing, greed, the devastation of Mother Earth, and so much more. It's almost been too much for your heart to take. And that is why March was such a decisive month for you to return to who you are on the inside. For as you move forward, you must understand the volume will increase, the violence will grow, bombs will be dropped, cities will go up in flames, people will die, people will be mistreated, mishandled in horrific ways, right? And it's going to continue because it must. And of course, the Akasha dove into just, the thing is like here within the spiritual community, and I know within my, community and my personal life, everyone around me is, hand quotations, like awakened. And we talk about politics and we talk about these things that are happening. And so it's so easy to believe that this is like the majority of the world, but it's not. We are actually a very small percentage. Okay. And that is why these things must continue, right? In the February Akashic forecast message, the Akasha said directly, this will last as long as you allow it to, until we remember our power, until we remember we are the creators. We control the outcomes, not the governments, not the money, not the things that are currently in place. It will continue until we are pushed out of our comfy little seats. Growing up, I always used to say, like, Americans love sitting around their kitchen table and complaining about what's going on, but very rarely will get out and do anything about it. Meanwhile, we watch these other countries who are under my God, dictatorships, right? And communism and these other things. And they will go out risking their lives to say no, to push back, to demand different. But in the US, not until it affects us personally will we do something about it for the majority of us, right? And so it is continuing because it must, right? Because ultimately, mankind is being woken up right now in a way that it never has. It's seeing itself so clearly. And what is this about? Why it is about that clarity. For only through clarity can change come. You know, and the Akashic Records have talked about this so many times about the first step of healing. The first step of change is awareness. Until we understand what is going on, until we see it so clearly that we demand different and then take action towards that, nothing will change, right? And again, I think the Akashic Records said so many times, like, this is going to be a very difficult month. This is going to be a hard month. This is going to be like right? As things are going to continuously undo in the world around you. Therefore, you must remember all you can control is that which is inside of you, right? So this is what I'm saying. Like if you didn't take advantage of the lessons coming through in March and you didn't reconnect to self, then that's okay. Because this month, that's still like the number one advice from the Akasha, right? Because when your cup is full, you can show up for other people. When you are in a grounded, steady place, you know how to take action in a way that is going to facilitate something fruitful, right? I have been digging into my morning practices more than I have in like years and years and maybe ever. Because my energy is, I'm here to assist the collective and I am so plugged into the collective and I've got to really wrestle to bring my energy back to me. And I got to really wrestle to get grounded and settled and where I'm in a place where I can show up for you. You are not me, but whatever it is you need to do for you, you got to do for you, right? I said, go back to basics, stock up on things that feel right for you, consume less, stay more disconnected from your screens, get outside, be around those you love, live your life. It's so important we continue to live our life, even as our everyday is crumbling down around us. It's so important to continue cultivating beauty in your life, to continue going out and having fun and completely losing yourself in the moment and just enjoy being around friends, around family, around whatever it is that brings you joy. You must remember to live your life during these times. Or if you allow all that which is happening around you to stop you, then the violence has won. Then the hate is getting through. We can't let them win. We have to prioritize our joy. We have to prioritize living life. And look, I'm an entrepreneur, okay? When I get up in the morning, nobody is forcing me to go to work. And that's great sometimes. But when it's difficult like this, it's hard. It's hard. And that's just the truth. Because it's just like, oh my gosh, like, how is this, like I feel the weight of the world. I feel my energy pulled in so many different ways. I feel so much, and what's been really beautiful is that for the last couple of weeks, several weeks, I've actually really been purposely putting myself in situations around new people. And it has been so incredible for me to step outside of this world where I'm always at and be in completely new worlds and create beautiful ceremony with friends and go laugh my head off and have martini with other friends. And you know what I'm saying? Like, live your life. Okay. And this is so important. You must step into a softer place within you. This is the Akasha's big ask, right? You must be able to find compassion for those who are making devastating decisions for the planet at this time, understanding that their role is required to help shift and change things into a new direction. While you look at them, look at their actions, see what they do, and feel hate in your heart, know that there is a place for that, but you must not allow it to stay. You must recognize it for what it is, their energy seeping into yours, before cutting it off, releasing it, and choosing something different. This is a big ask, and look, I vacillate between wanting to see 45 die and then remembering like, oh my gosh, okay, even when it happens, nothing's going to change. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like wanting to see these people like dragged through the mud or, like it's so hard for me to think about punishment because ultimately I know that karma is so real and it's gonna like whatever's gonna happen to them is what's gonna happen to them, right? And that's not a place where I honestly am even interested in going. But the whole point is like I definitely have these moments where I'm freaking furious and ready to rip someone's head off, you know, and that's okay. And if you find yourself there, that's okay. And if it lasts a couple of days, that's okay. But don't allow yourself to stay in that place. All right. Because you don't want to become them. You don't. And if you allow yourself to stay in that place, then you will become them. All right. Your energy will match theirs because, like the Akasha said, what is happening is their energy is seeping into yours. When you give your energy to someone, you literally allow them, their energy to step into your space. That's why I basically give, 45 like no energy. I'm just like, whatever, dude. You're doing your thing. You're here to do your thing. And, again, I have my moments because I'm human. But ultimately, I know that he has a role to play. I'm not God. I don't know everything. I don't know what is happening. I'm protecting my energy and I'm not allowing that to come in. No, thank you. And I invite you to do the same, right? And the Akasha knows like they're asking a lot from you, but the point is you can do it. You can handle it. And they got like testy, like they got really testy with this, which I honestly loved when they said, and all your hates and all your anger and all the ways in which you want people to be dead isn't going to change anything, right? So you got to try and see things from a higher perspective. Try to gird yourself, strengthen your heart, build up your own abilities to see things from a different perspective, right? You cannot allow these things to break you down. Don't let them win. Don't let them take your happiness, your joy, your peace, okay? Do not allow this to happen because that is the goal. That is the goal. And I loved this, the Akasha said they want to overwhelm you in such a way that makes you lose your voice, that makes you say, forget it. I'm out of here. I'm not participating. I'm going to ignore it. I give up in essence, right? And the Akasha said, and then of course you will find yourself in the midst of devastation, as so many generations have done before, when they too have chosen to look in the other direction. We cannot look away. We can take breaks. We need breaks. I need breaks. I have gotten super, super like, oh gosh, what is the word? I can't even think of the word. Controlling, if you will, because I can't think of a better word right now. Picky, boundaried for sure. Like about how I'm letting news come in right now. Just super, super like I read the news for a very specific amount of time. I only open up myself to social media for a very specific time. I am getting very, very, very detailed about the ways in which I am opening my energy up. And you must as well. All right. I just put a video out online about how like the number one thing you can do for self-care right now is to watch less news. Get super limited in what you're opening yourself up to, right? For you are human and you feel all things. And we want you to honor those things, but we also want to encourage you to rise above them. And I loved this. I love when they encourage us because I just feel it in my whole body. For that is your true essence, your true nature, the true reason you are on the planet at this time and listening to this message. So remember, so few will hear it, so few will take it in. Therefore, just by listening, you have a responsibility to try and live life in a different way. Smile when it's hard, to say a prayer for those who wish to harm you, to deeply invest in all that you are within, because that is so important at this time. I had a client this week and we were talking about, she's going through a number of different things that have really been sucking out her energy and really just overwhelming her. And of course, she shared one of the things is that she has just been so looped into the news as of late, and she's following these people who are like, stocking up on food items and stocking up on this and doing that and doing that. And it is so easy to get caught up in all of that right now. But ultimately, we have to remember that in these times, there's so much fear out there, right? Think back to the days during the pandemic. There was a number of things going around that never came true, right? We were never required to take the vaccines. We never ran out of toilet paper. There were so many things that people were flipping out about that never came into fruition. And they lost their peace. They were overwhelmed with fear, and they gave up their energy in the process. Don't allow this to happen. Understand that if you are investing in that beautiful relationship with yourself, your own divine wisdom, your guides are going to make sure that if you need to stock up on something, or you need to leave somewhere, or you need to do something like that, they are going to let you know. Okay. You are going to be taken care of. And even if they don't, then they will ensure that your needs are taken care of. Now, that's a big faith walk, right? To take, but that is what these times require. And you can either do that, or you can put your life in the hands of people who don't know you, don't know your situation, are just offering up general advice, and are filling you with fear and overwhelm and anxiety about things that may never come to fruition. You have to take control. You have to take control, right? And I loved how they wrapped this up. April is going to be a hard month, as this is a difficult year, but you are here for a reason. You have strength within that you haven't even met yet. And this month is for calling it forward. And so, my beautiful soul, as you navigate April, if you find yourself in the midst of difficult time, if you find yourself overwhelmed by what is taking place in the collective on our planet, I invite you to sit with yourself and to call forward your strength, because you are strong. You are here for a reason and a purpose, and you have more within you than you could ever possibly imagine. I just want to say thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with me. I pray that this serves, and I ask that you share it with someone else who could benefit from it. Please let me know how this resonates. Leave me a rating, review, subscribe, whatever the case, wherever it is that you're tuning in. I am so thankful for you. I'm so thankful that you are on the planet at this time. I am so thankful for each and every day that you get out of bed and you keep trying and you keep showing up. And again, I just remind you to be kind to yourself. I'm sending you so much love for the month ahead. Don't forget, when we invest in ourselves, the world benefits. Until next time.